Okay, and welcome back to the beautiful city of Uchisar. This is actually the city I'm staying in Cappadocia, Turkey. Today I'm going to visit the Uchisar castle. I just kind of wanted to show the area of where I'm going to be staying, or where if you do come to this part of town. This is the place where a lot of the tour groups are going to drop you off. The main thing that you're going to see here is Uchisar Castle. So a lot of the things in Cappadocia are done with tours, so a lot of the buses. So this is the city center right here. They have the restaurants, cafes, just like any other small touristy type city here in Cappadocia. So yeah, we're gonna go hike up the Uchisar Castle, which is right in front of me here. As you can see, all along these roads are, souvenirs, everything Cappadocia, from the balloons to, pottery and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna discover Uchisar Castle today, so come along with me. So one of the nice things about here in Uchisar with this castle is, if you don't happen to be riding one of the hot air balloons, this is a great vantage point, because they launch from right over there by that mountain range. So you wake up early in the morning, you can see all these balloons coming up off the horizon, and that's also where sunset's coming in, right over the mountains right there. So if you don't happen to be riding in one of the balloons, it's definitely a great place to watch the balloons come up in the morning. Okay, at ground level, it kind of looks like you're really high up. Like, if you can see behind me, you look very high up. In fact, it's the highest point in Cappadocia, so it's a great vantage point to see a lot of these cutout caves. But I'm not talking about these behind me, I'm talking about the fairy chimneys down below. You get a great vantage point, and once we get to the top, you'll see you'll have a panoramic view of all of Cappadocia. Now, what I want to talk about is it does seem really high here, but the climb to the top really isn't all that bad. If it wasn't for the fact that my allergies were killing me today, it's hurting me to breathe. But in fact, the climb is actually pretty good. I've only been climbing for about 5 minutes now, and I'm actually almost to the top. The top is right there, and you already have incredible views. Made it to the top. As you can see behind me, see the entire city of Uchisar down there right now. Now this is the highest point in Cappadocia, so the views up here are spectacular. As you can see, it's definitely a great selfie place. Instagram, everything else. If you want to come to Cappadocia, this is one of those Instagram spots. So, and you can't blame them. The views here are just spectacular. So, yeah, this is the Uchisar Castle, and we'll go back down and I'll show you a little bit more around the area as well. Some of the dove caves that they built in the caves. They say at one point it's actually inhabited by about 1,000 people during the Byzantine time, and so it's got a little bit of history, but it's basically just a main fortress, because as you can see, it's one of the highest points here in Cappadocia, the highest point in Cappadocia. So and now here's the view from the other side. I'm not exactly on the top anymore, but it's only about 3 meters down. It's just on the other side, so you can get a view of basically the north side of Uchisar, the north side of Uchisar Castle. You have one of the largest fairy chimneys right next to Uchisar Castle, as you can see down here. Now you can see the views down here. There's more of the fairy chimneys. And then a lot of the valleys. I hiked that valley the other day. That's Love Valley. Um, I'll be posting a video about that if I didn't already. So a lot of these little valleys that go in through here, especially on the other side, Pigeon Valley's that way, the town of Gourmet is that way. So a lot of the things that you do here are going to be traveling from basically one city to the other. And so this is probably the main tourist attraction, if not the main thing to see in Uchisar. I don't know of too many other things to do here other than the starting point or ending point to a lot of these hikes. So if you do a lot of hikes, this is going to be a stopping point for you, and make sure to stop into the city center. The cafes are really nice. The restaurants are amazing here. Turkish food, and not just Turkish food, but Turkish food specific to the Cappadocia area. They serve like stews and vegetable stews, lamb stew, chicken stew in these clay pots, which is very unique. They grill them all day and then you crack them open. So the food is really good here. So yeah, make sure to stop into the city center here in Uchisar, or even Gourmet, which you can see down here is basically, like I said, the starting point, ending point to a lot of these trails that run through here. But yeah, definitely make Uchisar Castle check the box off on your list when you come to Cappadocia, because the views are amazing. Like I said, the biggest point for me was to come here in the morning, and it's not open during sunrise, but you can go to the base of the mountain and see all the hot air balloons floating up in the horizon. It was one of the most beautiful things that I've seen here in Cappadocia. So if you want to view the hot air balloons and you're not going to ride them that day, make sure to wake up for sunset, come to Uchisar Castle, come to the base, basically the east side, and watch all the balloons, and you'll see them, you know, over the next hour or two kind of drift around the valley area. So it's definitely one thing to check off your list as well, not just visiting the castle, but visiting sunset here, or sunrise here. Now sunset is going to go over this mountain over here. I haven't been here during sunset, but I would say the sunrise here is more spectacular than the sunset, but they're both beautiful. I mean, this is Cappadocia, so probably one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been to in my life. So sunrise, it was probably the highlight of my trip here, watching the balloons. So unfortunately I didn't get a chance to ride in any of the balloons. I know it's the thing to do, but I kind of waited. I thought I would be here for 5 days, and I am here for 5 days. This is my last day, but the first day the weather was going to be so good, I wanted to photograph the balloons, and after that it's been too windy. They haven't even had the balloons, so I was just out of luck. Like I said, this is my last day here, so it looks like I won't be able to ride the balloons, but it's definitely something that I'm sure you've heard about, or if you haven't heard about, basically, you know, they have hot air balloons that float all up throughout all of Cappadocia in this area. It's the highlight of people's trips here. Some people just come for the night, do a hot air balloon ride, and then go. Some people don't even do the hiking. So a lot of people love the hot air balloons here. But yeah, this is Uchisar Castle. It's definitely one thing that you should visit. And thanks for watching. I'll do some more videos as we get down below and talk a little bit more about the castle. So let's go. Okay, you can see all these caves that are in here. These were all man-made for when certain empires were taking over, certain groups of people took over this this castle. Most of these caves they don't allow you in, but this platform right here, they allow you to kind of walk through some of these caves, so we'll do so. And you can see more of the shelves in here, as you can see, where people would have lived. Like I said, at one point it housed or was home to at most 1,000 inhabitants inside here. So you can see in this other room a little bit more all the scrape marks inside here, how they carved out this stone. And if you watched my video on Pigeon Valley, if it came out yet, they also have a lot of these what are called dove cotes or dove cotes. Basically they would cut these small holes outside of the castle here, so doves would come in and live here. That way they would take all the dove feces and use them for fertilizer on their land. So this was a big part of farming back in the day, and so this castle is just filled with a lot of these dove cotes and things like that. But yeah, these are all pretty much the homes that the people stayed in when it was inhabited. Like I said, you're not allowed to go in any of these caves at all anymore, but this area they're allowing you in, so I'm going to take advantage of it. When I was first walking through here, the thing that I was thinking about the most was how difficult it must have been to carve all this out. Obviously back then it was all by hand. They didn't have power tools. And it was very difficult to do. I mean, there's just so many caves in here. Make sure I don't trip and fall. There's just so many caves in here, as you can see. Just walking back in here. And this is on the base level now. I think I got one more level to go down until I actually leave the castle here. But all this was dug out by hand, all of this. So these were homes that were built, basically. So how much work went into that? And so I thought it must have took a long time. But the more I researched it a little bit, this stone is actually very soft stone, relatively speaking. You know, obviously if I hit it, break my hand, but it's generally soft stone. So carving it out wasn't as hard as some of the things that you might see around the rest of the world. It was fairly easy to do this, once again, relatively speaking. Yeah, so there's just so many, you could just, yeah, just touch that, and I mean, I shouldn't be doing that, but it's kind of brittle, you know. So even though it was really difficult, and it probably took a lot of time to build all these caves throughout here, and it's just interesting they allow you to go through here on the base. I don't see too many people down here. You definitely are able to come to the base here and go through these, but most of the people just go to the top. I think it's more the Instagram spot on top, but this is more of the interesting stuff to me. You can see all the, you know, where they would have chiseled down and made all these different rooms. Very interesting. Whew. Stinks in there, wow. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about the stone itself. Is relatively soft stone. So carving this out was, at the time for them, kind of an easier job, even though there's a lot of caves that took some time, but it was relatively easy for them. Okay. All right, now we are actually on the outside of the castle. You don't have to pay to get in here. And I should mention that the cost to get in here is 20 Turkish liras, so that's right around $2.50, so US dollars, 2 euros. So it's not bad at all. You can spend as much time here as you want. Obviously, I think the good time to come here for a lot of people, it's packed up here, is during sunset. But yeah, so this is actually on the outside of the castle. You can see the city around me and still the amazing views. And that platform right there is basically what I was telling you. You should go in the morning. You don't have to pay to come in that area. You actually can walk out and watch all the hot air balloons, you know, come up during sunset, or sunrise rather. And so it's definitely a good spot to come in the morning. But these caves at the base of the castle now are completely free to get in. Obviously, you should definitely pay to visit the castle because there's a lot more to see and the vantage points are a lot better. But this is it. I mean, there's tunnels and caves and rooms built all throughout here. So this is where I'm going to end the video here right now. This is Uchisar Castle. I can't emphasize enough to definitely visit this place and make sure it's a place of destination for you when you come to Cappadocia. It's a beautiful place, great vantage points, and so much history. And the town of Uchisar in general is just a beautiful town with really friendly people. So thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Goodbye from Cappadocia.